Drake Riggs here for MMA Mania with the champ, Liz Carmouche, in person. Great to see you, Liz, especially for this big fight, big event. San Diego, I mean, fighting at home, especially for this. Can you beat that? How nice is it?
Not when it's San Diego. I'd say if it was somewhere else, maybe, but not San Diego. You can't beat the weather, the food, the bay, all of it.
Absolutely, and I mean, I asked Ilima about this, and I'm sure you guys have talked a little bit maybe, but so many emotions, I'm sure, for this kind of specific thing. The fight itself, but then the event, we just mentioned San Diego, like, overall emotions, like, this is the most you've had coming in for a fight. I'm sure the first UFC fight was a big one, but, like, how do you compare it to past experiences, everything just that comes with this fight specifically?
Yeah, it's definitely different. You know, when you're facing a friend, and like everybody said, you're going out there and you have to hit each other. There's damage that's going to be done. It may not be your intent. You never want to go out and maim somebody and end their career, but things happen and still fight. You're still punching each other. You're still kicking, hitting, doing all this damage to each other. And the last thing I want, like I've said, ideally, where can I see this fight ending? It would be in just me putting her to sleep. No damage done to the limbs, no damage done to the face, just nice and easy out, right? Because then, you know, it's just a little nap, wakes up, and all is done, as opposed to both of us coming up beaten, battered, which is honestly probably where it's going to go instead.
Right, that's just how it ends up being, right? And, of course, you guys have common opponents now. The last fight for Ilima, very competitive one. A lot of people think she might not have won. Just got to get your thoughts on, you know, her last performance and the fight overall with Kana.
Yeah, you know, I'm always that person that I feel like I come out and I'm the realist, even though you want to always take your friend's side. When she faced Velasquez and she lost the belt, I didn't feel like she actually lost that fight.
Yeah, same.
And I feel like I was one of those people that everybody's like, oh, you're just going for Ilima. But then when she faced Watanabe, I did feel like Watanabe actually won the fight. I felt like she was one who was dictating the pace of the whole fight and pushing it. But then when I went back and I watched it, over tape as opposed to in person, in my mind, it looked like there's no way that she won. Oh, man. But then I watched film on it. I'm like, actually, it's kind of a little bit more controversial. It is a little bit tougher to decide. Yeah. But I still think that Watanabe won it, but we wouldn't be where we are today if she had.
Yeah, so we're thanks, judges. But, and I mean, just with the concept of fighting someone you know so well, like Ilima, is that bring you more comfort in terms of preparation, more stressful because it kind of goes in both directions, right? How are you taking it in that regard, I suppose, and just the expectations of fighting someone you both know each other so well?
Yeah, I think the benefit in that is that we have been in different fight camps for about 2 years. I think if we were still actively training up until this point, it would be a whole different territory, right? You feel like you have to line up practices with different people and high training sessions so that you can have a secretive element going into it. But we both grown so much in separate ways and being able to have the benefit of different camps that if we only focus on who we were 2 years ago, I don't think we'd be able to perform today. We're looking at somebody that isn't the same person. We have to focus on the growth that we both made and realize that we're going in there as two different opponents rather than teammates.
Absolutely. You know, great last win for you as well, Liz, defending the title against Deanna Ben. Obviously, some drama with these weight things that keep on happening with her. Sorry, Deanna, but it's facts. Ilima said that, you know, she thinks that it was kind of a comeback for you, right? Get the finish there after, you know, a little tough couple rounds, and she thinks it was because of the emotions getting to you and says you don't maybe fight your best when emotional like that. A little angry at Deanna for missing weight and whatnot. But I guess just how do you reflect on the performance, the win? Was it one of the more satisfying ones because of all that went into it? I mean, just how do you look back at it?
Not satisfying. It wasn't the performance I wanted. What I wasn't telling anybody was that I got injured backstage. I was warming up and something happened and it compromised my ability to move in the fight whatsoever. And so finally at that point I was like, I'm not losing this, and I know I am losing right now. I cannot lose this fight, and I knew I had to pull the trigger, and if that meant getting my injury worse, then it was just going to have to happen. And so it wasn't even emotions. It had nothing to do with that. It was me trying to be like, how can I do this and make it through the fight? Like if I push right now, I may permanently injure myself. And so once I was able to push past, I was able to pull out the win. Because if I look at, you want to talk about the most emotional fight I've had, it's the Watanabe fight. It wasn't anything having to do with Watanabe. It was my own personal life and things going on. I took my anger into that, and I took it out on her. So, and then the Velasquez, that second fight, I was angry at Velasquez, and I took it out on her. So me fighting emotional is actually a really good thing. Yeah, I perform really well when I'm emotional. If I'm calm-headed, it's actually not a good thing.
Yeah, so we've seen the proof in that for sure. Yeah. But last time we caught up, Liz, I want to say it was around the time, it was earlier this year, when Alexa Grasso won the fight against Valentina Shevchenko. They've rematched since then. I was at that. Insane atmosphere, just insane fight overall. but a little wonky on maybe the scores. I want to get your thoughts now since we talked about the first one. What did you think of this? Right call, wrong call? Just overall thoughts on that rematch.
In all honesty, I mean, if you know, when it comes to the title, usually when it goes to decision, if you can't, it's like when it comes to you're going to court and you're trying to make a decision. If you can say without a shadow of a doubt, it's the same thing. There were doubts in that, and there were questions back and forth. What I can say is I was really surprised that Shevchenko didn't come out stronger than what she did. I thought that she'd have such a strong vendetta after the last fight and looking to come out guns blazing. They would have much. I didn't think it was going to go to have a possibility of decision. So in my mind, when she let that happen, she had already lost to Grasso.
Fair assessment. And, last time we also talked to Liz, I was saying how this all lines up perfectly. And it was before Bellator 300. Like, if you and Ilima fought for the title, makes for a pretty good double retirement fight possibility. I'm not going to ask you. I don't want you to retire, but I asked Ilima this too, so I'm going to ask you. But chances, what are the chances that it would be your last fight if you were to win?
It would not be.
Okay.
Not at all.
Not a chance at all?
No. After this, I'm headed down to the CPI stem cells, the CHIPSA, and Tijuana to get stem cells so I can be healthy continuing going forward, whether that means under a different umbrella of a different organization, Bellator, whatever that happens to be. The benefits of fighting right here in San Diego when I don't have them in other places is that I just cross the border and I go for treatment as opposed to trying to slither out time and make sure it happens. So no hopes to retire. I'm still fast. I'm still on a win streak. I'm still doing well, and I want to keep that going.
Yeah, no reason to. So, but yeah,
exactly.
Just had to ask, but we appreciate it, Liz. I want to see you keep fighting for as long as you can, which is
Absolutely.
The plan anyway. So, all right, best of luck, Liz. Can't wait for the fight. Going to be a good one. Happy Bellator 300.
Thank you.